Oh, there we go. There's our mics. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final game. One more game is all we have left for today's matches to determine who the winner is. We already know that Bomber has swept the group. He is going to advance to Codes with a 4-0 victory. Very cool to see him back in action, back in good action, I guess you could say. Doing well. The last game is going to be between Ryung and GuMiho. And even though Ryung is at 2-2 and GuMiho is at 3-1, it just happens to be such that if Ryung wins the game, he will tie GuMiho and win the tiebreaker simultaneously.
The thing is that this also means that we have 2 Terran players advancing.
It's true. It's true. Guaranteed to have 2 Terran players going to Codes. Our foreigner from Sweden, Maro, the Zerg, will be going down to Code. And Tassadar and Killer, the 2 Protoss, will be going down to Code as well. Killer, he has been in Codes for so long. He is actually going to be going down to Code for the first time, I think, since Code was started. I don't think he's ever been in Code before, actually.
You won't be too happy about that.
No. And
TVT is going to start on Crossfire, by the way, so that will be the last map for today. We had a couple of matches, quite a lot of them today.
And Ryung and GuMiho have both been in Codes before. They are no strangers to the limelight. They are trying to get back into it right now. The countdown has begun. The countdown has ended. The game is loading. We're going to get into the last game on Crossfire. Everything, all the games that they've played today are come down to this one game. Who will win and take the Codes spot, Ryung or GuMiho? We are about to find out.
Last game has started, and at the bottom left of Crossfire we have the first player. We have the Terran player in the right. It is
Slayers, Ryung.
There he is, the player from Team Slayers. He's on 2-2 right now, able to win that game, and he will advance to Codes. His opponent at the top right of the map in the blue colors is none other than
FXO, GuMiho.
the man who just took Morrow apart, who didn't have any trouble at all of defending the Swedish Zerg player.
Yep. Nice little drop strategy. Killed all of his drones, his poor little defenseless drones.
Once again, the reminder, ladies and gentlemen, that you can check out the new passes, the Premium and Premium Plus ticket, as well as the third option at GOMTV.net, gomtv.net/tickets. There are 3 different passes that you can get, and you can also go for a yearly subscription if you actually prefer that. So check that out, have a quick look, and there are so many games next year in Codes, Code A, so many matches that you can see at GOMTV.
Yep.
So definitely have a look at the ticket system, the new one, gomtv.net/ticket.
Yep. And also a reminder, don't forget to go ahead and follow GOMTV on Twitter at GOMTV. You can get all the latest updates if we change the format or the schedule, or you can find out what games are going on. Usually there's a tweet about what games are going to be happening every evening, that kind of thing. You can follow me on Twitter. I am at Moltrap. Caldor is at Caldor. And I don't want to ruin the surprise, but I'll just say that I've got something cool in store for my Twitter followers coming up here the next week or so. Now would be a good time to follow me if you've thought about it in the past. And Ryung has gone for a fast command center and has immediately dropped down double gas to try and catch up in his tech, whereas GuMiho already has a factory underway.
Yep, and no command center whatsoever. Looks like he's going for an early attack. Let's see if he is at some point throwing down a second base on his own. Double gas, as Moltrap already mentioned for Ryung. This is what it comes down to today. They know that this game is what it comes down to. This is what counts. Winning that match is what it's all about. If you want to play with the big boys, you have to win that map.
That's right, man. Everything is on the line for this game to get into Codes. The entire last season, everything that they fought for to try and get into Codes last season, if they were, well, Ryung was in Codes, he fell out, I guess, so it's a little bit different story, but point being, it's all come down to this, for the entire next season, where they're going to be, how they're going to place. Comes down to this game, so a lot of pressure. I didn't think either of them looked like they were really phased by that pressure, though, at the beginning of the game. Ryung certainly didn't look phased at all. I mean, you do have GuMiho going in and putting Reactor on his factory. He's going to be producing a lot of Hellions. We've seen this a little bit more in TVT lately.
They play a different strategy when it comes down to the openings. We have Ryung with a faster expansion, then starting his tech with double gas, while GuMiho prefers to get the tech first and then transitions into the expo. So let's see if he can capitalize on the earlier tech structures that he had. Both of them are now placing down the starport, but it already finishes for GuMiho, and he will be able to switch with the barracks and get access to that tech lab.
Ryung, I mean, he's got that extra base, he's dropping double mules, but he still hasn't been able to actually move down and take his expansion yet. Although he is producing double SCVs, and really it doesn't make sense to take that expansion until you have enough SCVs to make use of it, so very smart of him. But yeah, in the meantime, GuMiho is just, and look at that scan, the scan goes down and sees exactly what GuMiho is up to, even spots, I guess he had maybe previously spotted that expansion building at the side.
I mixed it up, by the way. I looked at the wrong production tab. We have GuMiho not with the tech lab, but he went for double reactor, so there's no Banshee coming up. He's going for the drop play, while his opponent, well, Ryung, did get the reactor, the tech lab add-on, and only one reactor. So he is, both of them are now opting for Vikings.
Ryung has a bunker here, which is going to be nice for dealing with these Hellions if he tries to move up. But yeah, he sees them there. I think he saw those. Yeah, he says them. But the medevac is going to completely circumvent that.
That's a drop.
Is he going to be able to intercept it? He's not going to intercept the drop, but he may intercept the Hellions. Spaces out his Marines nicely, and he's forced to retreat, but...
Hello, and bye.
Medevac's not long for the world.
Oh, he's able to save the medevac, isn't he? Yeah, looks like... No! Close one. The medevac is just able to survive that. Harvest the count, 31 to 32. GuMiho already has his extension up and running. The orbital with the second mineral line. He's getting a slight advantage over his opponent right now.
That is a ton of Hellions. And he's actually going to move down the ramp. And this could be a mistake. They're lined up on the ramp for the Hellions! Oh! The tank is there to save the day, though. Got a few Marines.
Yeah, he got a lot of them, actually. He lost 6 Marines.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Orally. 74 supply against 61. Both of them finishing the siege mode upgrade.
And the siege tank's just going up to the high ground. He just wants to show GuMiho. He's like, ha! See? Look, I've got siege tanks. I'm going to show you. I don't care if you have the watchtower. I want you to know I have siege tanks. Punk.
Double factory for both of them now. Added as well. More gas at the expo.
So it looks like we're going to see mech versus mech, or at least heavy marine tank versus marine tank, although both players getting some Vikings as well.
GuMiho still controls a huge part of the map. He's a little bit ahead when it comes down to the SCV count as well. He's on 44 against 38. He had that earlier expansion. Well, the command center was done earlier for Ryung, but at the same time GuMiho was able to place down his command center a bit earlier and therefore make use of that second mineral line.
Yeah.
They're both sieging up now. Oh, nice. Already going for the blue flame upgrade.
Very nice indeed. 2 siege tanks taking some damage. Is he going to save it? Oh, barely. He saves that tank. But now his Vikings come in. He does have the air superiority. So he's going to take that Viking and the medevac. Take control of the skies. He needs to repair that tank though.
Blue flame coming up for both of them now, and Ryung trying to get another base. Trying to get another orbital. Still a decent lead for GuMiho when it comes down to his harvest account. And this is just all about the positioning, about the air dominance as well, who has to use more scans in order to scan his opponent's position, who is able to get the Viking so that he can do that. We have 4-3 Vikings right now in favor of GuMiho.
Ryung giving up control of the tower. He did have less siege tanks. Well, no, actually, no. Ryung has more siege tanks. Actually, I don't know why he gave up control of that situation. He had the air superiority, so even though GuMiho had the tower for vision, he could have used his Vikings to gain more vision there. Wants to go around for a flank instead, I guess.
Still a decent supply lead for GuMiho. And Ryung is not engaging. Ryung is not engaging at all right now. He's just happy to sit tight and getting that additional orbital command. But GuMiho is basically doing exactly the same thing. He's also adding the armory as his opponent. And with 3 orbitals being ready in a few seconds, GuMiho will be having a small lead when it comes down to the economy for a short amount of time. Maybe able to pull even in the supply count again.
And here's Ryung. He's positioning into a place where he's given up the watchtower for the moment, but he's secured the bottom right base if he wants to take that next. That might be his goal with this method of positioning that he's taken up. It's also just a better siege tank line to have a straight line like that instead of trying to clump up on that island.
One of the Hellions just dies to the Vikings.
Yep.
A rare sight as well.
Yeah. And there we do indeed have him floating a base to that bottom right. So that was his goal, was to try and take control of the third. And he's going to start being able to get ahead of GuMiho in that sense, but a blue flame Hellion drop is coming up the side. And I think he sees it though. Yeah, those Vikings are going to... Oh, it is... Yeah, 3 Hellions get out, but they're probably going to get killed anyway.
That would have been huge. If he would have just went to the left side of the map, that might have worked, but there's an engagement in the middle of the map, and GuMiho will get the worst end of that. Doesn't look good for him.
Nice. Very nice advance there. Ryung unsieged and moved all of his tanks in and sieged up again, and a little bit of glitchiness there.
Course for both of them, and that kind of...
Oh, he's going to land the Vikings on top of the tanks.
Good job.
Very nice.
That reminds me a little bit of that situation that we had between Marine King and Slayer's Boxer on this map when Boxer was dropping a Thor onto a 5 siege tank and killed 4 of them.
That was so really boss. That was
awesome. Save him
oh, no. Oh, no. Those SCVs were like, oh, we're just marching to our deaths. Let's not do that. Cleans that up, takes his third, but GuMiho in turn, taking his third over at the right-hand side of the map. And, you know, if this game goes on for a long time, GuMiho just has the better position and is maintaining that position. He's going to have more of the map to take. Ryung has to get something done before it gets too far into this.
I mean, the most important thing is that we are having another base being built for GuMiho. He's trying to get a 4th, and if he's able to get away with that, then he will pull ahead in this game even further. He's slightly ahead in supply already. Getting the +1 attack upgrade. Ryung is still missing that one, and there another engagement in the middle, sieging up with his tanks. The Thor trying to take down the Hellions. Blue Flame against Blue Flame. Vikings joining the party as well, trying to siege up to drop in the back. Nope.
Nice. And Ryung is going to take that battle. The Vikings running down to the bottom right, though, forcing Ryung to unsiege his units to come back to deal with these Vikings dropping down. Very cute move by GuMiho. And, never mind, they weren't pumped up, so the Thor didn't do too much damage.
Did not do much damage at all. And the 4th base has been scouted by another Viking. That SCV is already dead. The tank trying to kill the Viking. Ryung not moving it at all. The Viking is down.
I'm a little surprised that Ryung moved all of his tanks back.
Oh, that's a mistake. No, what's he doing?
Wow. Only a couple of the tanks were sieged up, so the unsieged one's able to get half the Vikings. Doesn't even get a tank.
And that puts Ryung ahead in supply.
Yeah. No,
by 20.
Here's the thing, though. When Ryung moved his entire army back to deal with those Vikings, he gave up the position in the middle of the map. So GuMiho has once again taken control of that tower. Towers are so important in this game and on this map that GuMiho is just going to have more of the map to work with. And like you said before...
He's not using the tower at all right now.
Well...
He should.
He should be. Oh no. Blue Flame Hellions coming in here, attacking some SCVs. Not going to do too much damage though.
Nah, delaying that fourth base a bit. That's all that they are achieving right now.
Yeah. Although GuMiho has his fourth base up and, well, no, it's not up actually. What is it doing? To the top left? Maybe it is up. It looks like the SCV at the top left was killed off for a minute, so he
yeah, was killed by the Viking. He had a tank over there to take out the Viking, but he had to. He needs to get that SCV in.
And it's gonna die again. That command center is just not destined to go up. But you know what?
He's building another one.
Sometimes your command center, it burns down and falls into the swamp. You have to build another one. It'll burn down and fall into the swamp. But eventually you'll get a command center there. And he's really moving in hard here, taking a sieged up position, but there's only 2 tanks actually within range of this island, so easily dispatches them with superior numbers.
GuMiho has a problem when it comes down to gas income. He's getting a 4th base at the left side of the map. And has to take another one at the top left if he would finally get an SCV over to that position. The Vikings once again try to put pressure onto the 4th.
Oh, and Ryung is moving his army the other way, actually taking some siege tank fire. And the Vikings are just forced to lift back up again. There's 3 Thors there. That's, oh no, the Thor's getting baited back into the tank fire. And GuMiho taking the opportunity to actually move. Nope, he's just gonna fall back and go around the side. This is really crazy. Both players in each other's territory, going for a flank, but also at risk of being flanked.
But GuMiho is getting really aggressive right now. The Blue Flame Hellions attack the SCVs. The whole SCV line is getting demolished. Every single one dies. Only a few are able to escape. GuMiho killing 28 harvesters.
He actually lifts up his depot to block some of his SCVs from escaping. And Ryung is actually just going to go for a trade situation. GuMiho has 40 more supply than him though, so he's going to win a trade if it comes down to it. GuMiho holding the top of his ramp, as is Ryung, and GuMiho's now going to try and fall back and sandwich that army.
He's getting the +2 attack upgrade as well. That gives him another edge in that game. 3,000 minerals still left for GuMiho. He's in a very good position right now. Those Hellions don't do anything at all. Not really useful in this match anymore.
Yeah, Ryung is using Blue Flame Hellions to take out the mining SCVs, where GuMiho has all of his bases actually. There's nothing he can do without bringing his whole army over here, or at least part of it. And he wants to deal with Ryung's main army in the middle.
That's kind of a tricky situation for GuMiho to be in. He could have used those Vikings in order to take down the Hellions to the right that are killing his SCVs. But he's moving to the bottom of the map right now. No, first of all, he wants to kill the Hellions. And they already did a huge amount of damage. I mean, one of them has 14 kills, the other one 5. 20 kills in total now.
He just let 4 Blue Flame Hellions kill all of his economy.
And they're tied in SCV count, 47 to 47.
Wow, and Ryung has almost matched the supply count. He's up to 175. GuMiho's almost maxed. He's still 20 ahead. It's just gonna still be positional though. Ryung has now pinchered GuMiho's army, but GuMiho has a bigger army if he engages only part of it. So he still has the advantage depending on where he moves. Oh no, the Vikings are going in here. Is he going to land on those tanks?
At the bottom right, the Blue Flame Hellions have been killed by Ryung's army. But they killed a bunch of SCVs before that. GuMiho is now ahead in the harvester count and the supply count.
I can't tell who's trapped. Has Ryung trapped GuMiho's army, or has GuMiho trapped Ryung's army? Ryung's army is split in half though, so it's a little bit less for him.
Moving into position at the high ground again. Is he sieging up? Yes.
Oh, he's trying to corner him. Siege tanks on the low ground, siege tanks on the high ground.
He has the advantage in upgrades. +2 for GuMiho, +1 for Ryung in terms of attack upgrades.
Sorry, GuMiho. Ryung's army is too high to get over, too low to get under. You're stuck in the middle.
And the 3 Thors just trying to take down the base at the right side, but have to retreat now.
Yep, they're going to retreat over those tanks. This is crazy. Ryung is like all over the map, trying to be in all different places at once, but also trying to defend GuMiho's army, which is roaming around in the middle of the map. And here goes GuMiho trying to take advantage of the unsieged tanks. going in, but he might lose all of his stores, landing some Vikings on top. They immediately pop, and GuMiho loses a lot of supply, but trades pretty evenly so that Ryung is still behind. And can GuMiho clean up the rest of Ryung's army?
Ryung has less mining bases than his opponent. He won't be able to get to reinforce his army, and now the last tanks of Ryung are actually dying. 115 supply. This encounter is not working well for the Red Talon player. Ryung in trouble. GuMiho on 150 supply.
This is nuts. Ryung is trying to take another base at the right-hand side of the map. GuMiho, though, has gotten mining again at those bases. I mean, Ryung killed a bunch of SCVs, but he didn't actually kill the command center, so GuMiho's able to get his mining back up again.
This last battle didn't work out for Ryung at all. He's now trying to take that base that you already mentioned, but with 40 supply ahead, GuMiho is in a really decent position, especially given the fact that he still has the lead in workers and in mining bases. Those Blue Flame Hellions of GuMiho.
Wow, Ryung just
a lot of units.
Bunched his Hellions up, so he took a lot more damage than he needed to there. But Ryung, you know, positionally speaking, he's not horribly off. He still has control of his half of the map. If he can get some damage done, this is what he's trying to do. With those Hellions, he could still bring himself back into this, but it's going to be tough.
70 supply lead for GuMiho right now. Ryung trying to kill the economy, but GuMiho is on top of his game and able to take down the Hellions before that.
Yeah, this is looking really bad for Ryung right now. He is just so far behind in supply. GuMiho can almost A-move, even if he sieged up, and oh no! His front door is wide open, and GuMiho is going to walk in and help himself to dinner.
Knock, knock. Who is there? GuMiho ready for the party, sieging up, and he has access to his opponent's production buildings now. This is not going to end well for Ryung. As soon as he loses his factories, he won't be able to rebuild the Thors, the Hellions, nor the siege tanks. And
once you siege up the production facilities of a Terran, it is over for them. Ryung, his supply is plummeting. GuMiho is only increasing in supply. Wow, and Ryung's only chance is to try and do a trade, and he's going to take out this planetary on the left at least, but he's losing his main in exchange, and that is not a good trade.
The main, that's the GG.
GG! And
GuMiho advances to Code S. He joins Bomber in this group. Bomber takes the first spot in today's group, and GuMiho the second, the FXO player.
GuMiho's
and
like,
Choya.
That was too close. That was a lot closer than I expected.
Not happy.
Not happy at all. And so that's unfortunate. Ryung will go to Code A next season, of course. He's not completely out of it. He's a very strong player, so he's going to have a pretty good chance in Code A, although a lot of strong players are going down to Code A. Along with him goes Tassadar and Killer, and of course, our Swedish friend Maro is going to be going down as well.
Yep, exactly. So we'll see them in Code A. The two Terran players that advance to Code S are GuMiho and Bomber. Congratulations, by the way. Really well played. The last game in TVT, it came down to that last encounter, and GuMiho just was in better shape, took that game from Ryung, and therefore is on 4-1.
Yeah, 4-1. A very strong finish. Would have been a shame for him almost to do so well in the group and then maybe end up with a 3-2 and losing at the end. That would have been, you know, kind of unfortunate for him, but he did pull it out the win and did end up with 4-1. Very dominant victory in this group as well. There's our results for today. As we mentioned, Bomber shutting out his group 4-0. GuMiho 4-1 for the win. Ryung almost scraping in there, but lost that last game for a 2-3 third place. Tassadar, Killer, and Maro all getting a series of losses despite fighting very hard. So they're going to be eliminated from this group down to Code A. And of course, tomorrow we're going to have more up and down matches for you guys. It's going to be another great group tomorrow. Tomorrow, not with Maro, but tomorrow. There's Group C: Xenio, Pult, Inca, Lucira, and Virus.
Starting at 6:10 p.m. KST, which equals like 10 a.m. CET.
That would be, actually I think it's 1 a.m. I don't remember, it used to be 2 a.m. I think it's switched to 1 a.m. now in Pacific time because of the daylight savings. That's not too late, 1 a.m. You can stay up to watch that.
Yeah,
easy peasy.
you should.
There you go.
That'd be a good route.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see what happens there. Xeno's been kind of off a little bit lately. Virus is kind of a wild card. Holt, though, has been playing very strong lately.
Blizzard
Inca,
Cup comes to
Lucira.
mind.
What's that?
The Blizzard Cup comes to mind.
Yeah. Lucira, very, very strong Zerg player. And Inca, we haven't seen a lot out of him lately, but he is going to be fighting for his chance to get back up in Code S as well. And that's just the third group. We're going to have a lot more matches all this week. Every day this week, we've got up and down matches. It's going to be awesome. And that's pretty much going to do it for us for today, I guess. It's been a long broadcast.
Yep.
Almost 4.5 hours that we've been casting here today, but it's been some great games. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see those last 2 games. Only 13 games today. Sorry, but that's the end of it. So we hope you guys enjoyed it. I think that's pretty much going to do it for us. Caldor, do you have any last final thoughts on any of those games or the results? Or anything?
Not really. I'm a little bit disappointed that Moro couldn't at least get into a tie situation where it came down to a game, but I have to say that his opponent, GuMiho, just played way too good on the last map on Belcher Beach.
Yeah.
So he deserved that win. And we'll be back tomorrow, I guess.
Yes, we will. Well, I won't, but maybe you will. You will be here tomorrow. That's going to do it for us for today. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching.